Well, I've started immediately, of course, with a gravel climb. But let me tell you about my bike. So I've rented a Specialized Diverge. It is a month old. It has electric shifting, which I've never used before. Very exciting. The gears are back to front, obviously, because I'm in continental Europe. But, you know, you have a challenge. Oh God. Cycling on gravel one-handed is a challenge, actually. So far, I'm pretty impressed. This is also €45 a day from Cycle Tours Catalonia, which is right next to the train and bus station. Which is pretty useful. Very friendly people. Oh, look at the view. So epic up here. I honestly feel like I left the apartment 5 minutes ago. There's something so Spanish about this route, about this whole area, I guess. It was the same in Mallorca in October. There's just this kind of, I can't explain it. We didn't really do switchbacks in the UK very often. Sometimes, but not really. I think it's the warmth, it's the types of trees, it's the smell in the air, it's the acceptance of cyclists, it's the lack of traffic, the smoothness of the roads, and it's just the landscape is so perfect for riding. I will say though, I wouldn't mind another safety barrier because I'm like looking around, filming, chatting away, and I've just got this absolute sheer drop on the side. An absolutely epic switchback road descent, and now I'm back on gravel for a long gravel descent, which I probably won't be able to film that much. Are you a lizard? Is there a lizard? Nowhere have I ever experienced gravel quite like that, and now, yes, I can see why Girona is so amazing for gravel cycling. When we talk about gravel in the UK, it could be one of a variety of things. Most of the time it just means off-road cycling where you can go quite quickly. You're not going to need a mountain bike most of the time, although sometimes. But it could be earth, it could be actual gravel, it could be slightly rocky, it could be rooty. It's just off-road, but not quite mountain bike territory. But in Girona, they have actual gravel everywhere. It is extraordinary. This gravel ride, I left my apartment and it must have taken me around 5 to 7 minutes to get out onto the gravel tracks in the hills. So Girona sits in, I don't know if it's a valley, I guess it's a valley. To the east and the southeast, it has a natural park, like a national park. And then to the west and northwest, it has another one. And there are others around further afield as well, but these are the ones that really surround it. So you have Rocacorba in the northwest natural park, and then just these incredible hills to the east, which, like, as I flew in, I could see all of these extraordinary gravel tracks in the forest, in the hills, and I just thought, It's not like there's just one gravel track that you follow and you turn into a route and that's the route that you do in that sort of area, and then you go to another area and do another route. There are so many tracks in, like, crossing each other, and the terrain is this crazy wooded, mountainous, hilly kind of, like, mostly uninhabited area with churches and chapels on the top of some of the peaks, which is the perfect destination to go to. Most of the time the gravel was rideable. I don't even know. I did walk a couple of times, but it was a steepness thing more than anything else, and I just needed a break. But the gravel itself was rideable for me, and I am not a very adept gravel rider on a gravel bike. Give me a mountain bike in a day, absolutely fine. But what was so great about this is because especially the season I went in, I guess, so I'm going in mid-spring, and it hadn't rained for a while in Girona when I got there, so everything was quite dry and a bit dusty, which was perfect because it was no mud, there wasn't really any puddles, it was just perfect. And while there was some like loose gravelly stuff around on the ascents and obviously the descents as well, it wasn't so much of a problem. There were a couple of bits where I was could have gone arse over tit quite easily, let's face it, but I didn't, because that's actually they're the parts that I got off and walked. But most of the time it's really well compacted gravel, or it's kind of like dusty, I don't even know what you'd call it, but like dusty earth, I guess, with like some stones in there, the odd root, things like that, but it's really, really manageable on a gravel bike, which is perfect for gravel riding. The bike I was riding was brand new, which is not what I like in a rental anything. I do not want to rent a new anything. I'm sure some people do, I do not, because that means that any scratch that shows up on that bike is your scratch, and that is not good. But it was a really nice bike, and I've never ridden electric shifting before, so that was really fun, and now I'm back on my gravel bike at home, and I don't know, there's something missing here. But that's one of the things I love about cycling abroad, is because I'm too lazy to take my bike with me, I tend to hire bikes when I'm abroad, and that means I usually get to ride fancier bikes than I have at home. I honestly wish I was out there for longer. I had a very strict time frame when I first booked this. Now it turns out that I don't have a very strict time frame. I can kind of do what I want when I want, which is nice. But I didn't know that at the time. So I was only in Girona for a short amount of time, and oh my god, I went to every single cafe, but that's another story. I didn't want to burn myself out too much on this gravel ride, even though these videos are published in the wrong order, sorry. This one was the day before my Roca Corba ride, and I wanted to focus my energy on that because it's a massive climb. So this wasn't a very long ride. I can't even remember what it was now, like 20 kilometers or something, maybe 500 meters of elevation, I don't know. But it was so beautiful, and the road section was really fun as well, because that was switchback up and then switchback down, and it was just so beautiful. And then you just nip off the road and there's a perfect gravel trail waiting for you that will take you back down. It was fantastic. It's so easy to access. You don't really have to look anything up. You can just turn up with your bike, get a hire bike, whatever you want to do, and pedal from your accommodation in Girona or the outskirts of Girona, and immediately be on gravel trails. Absolutely fantastic. 10 out of 10, would recommend. I'm gonna go back 100%. Thanks for watching this video. If you haven't subscribed yet, please consider subscribing, because it makes a huge difference to how I can make these videos and get them out to other people. See you in the next one.